Y'all go ahead, folks. We're breaking into your regularly scheduled programming to take the funeral of Officer Mia Goodwin. This is the procession. It is beginning from the Alexander Funeral Home. They're making their way to First Baptist Church. They left the funeral around 9 a.m. this morning. You can see people gathering now on the side of the road to pay their respects for Officer Goodwin. They're now heading to First Baptist Church on South Davidson Street in Uptown. Visitation will take place this morning from 10 a.m. to noon. The funeral service will begin at noon, and we will broadcast that live for you. You can see some friends and family making their way down the street as well. Roads will be blocked off in this area. We have all the information on our website, WCNC.com. Mia Goodwin was 33 years old. She was a 6-year veteran of the force, joined in 2015, a mother of 3. She had just returned from maternity leave. She leaves behind a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 4-month-old. Her husband, Brenton Goodwin, is a Charlotte firefighter. We'll have continuing coverage throughout the day for the funeral services of Officer Mia Goodwin. Stick with this as they make their way to First Baptist Church on South Davidson Street in Uptown. We have some reporters along the scene as well we might be able to talk to see what they're seeing. Right now, we know over $350,000 has been raised for Officer Goodwin's family through 2 different GoFundMes. If you would like to help, we have that information on our website, WCNC.com. Nearly 4,000 people have donated. The Fraternal Order of Police raised over $50,000. The Waterbean Cafe donated all sales made at Charlotte locations on Christmas Eve to her family as well. And the memorial started outside CMPD University where Goodwin worked. They've raised money as well too. Now, as they make their way to First Baptist Church on South Davidson Street in Uptown, we know that visitation will begin at 10 a.m. until noon, and then those funeral services will begin at noon, and we'll broadcast that live for you on WCNC.com and on television as well. Right now, they are leaving the funeral home. They left at 9 a.m., the Alexander Funeral Home, and so we are going to stick with this as they make their way to the church, First Baptist Church. I believe we have our Brandon Goldner. We can send out to him. Brandon, can you hear me? Okay, we'll check in with him.
I can hear you. Can you
he said he can hear me. Brandon?
Yep.
Let us know where you are. Are you outside the church right now?
That. Yes, so we are at First Baptist Church. We just had a walking procession of CMPD officers as they're lining up at the entrance of the church. The procession for the vehicles will be coming in about 9 to 10 minutes or so. So as we're waiting for that procession of officers, that large, long procession of officers with the flashing blue lights that really presents a stunning scene. If we can pan over here, Mike, right outside the government center, we have all of these people who are waiting out here, waiting for this procession to arrive. Many paying their respects to fallen officer Mia Goodwin. Something that was pretty shocking when we learned about it is that she's the first female CMPD officer to die in the line of duty. It's really a stunning fact that we just learned today, and our understanding is that the visitation and the funeral service is open to the public. The visitation will be lasting from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let me step aside so that you can get a better look at right in front of the church. So the visitation will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then we have the actual funeral service, which we will be covering here on WCNC Charlotte. As we wait for that procession to come through, it is amazing to see so many people out here who are coming in, particularly City of Charlotte workers, to pay their respects. Something else that was also interesting, we talk a lot about first responders. We talk about first responders when it comes to CMPD officers and firefighters, and something else we also saw among the people who were there, not just detectives, but also it looks like CMPD dispatchers. Many of them are really the first of the first responders. They're the first ones to get that call. So during that walking procession, and if we can play that, it was incredible to see. You had the officers in uniform starting out the walking of the procession, and then you also had the additional detectives and then the dispatchers themselves walking through here. Officer Mia Goodwin, she had just returned from work after being on maternity leave for her third child. We've learned a lot about her, the type of officer she was. A lot of the things that we have heard people saying, and really what CMPD has been posting on their Facebook page right now, is about how dedicated she was to the community. They talked about one instance where she helped a driver after they had an issue with their car, and they posted a photo of her, and even though she was wearing a mask during that photo, you could see her smiling with her eyes. And it's really been a sad day for many of these officers as we're continuing to wait for that procession to get through from Alexander Funeral Home to First Baptist Church. This is typically the church where you see a lot of these officer funerals that happen in Charlotte. Unfortunately, there has been a few recently, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic. Something else that has also been incredibly interesting that we will get to see today is, and it's really an emotional part, is when we listen to the dispatch audio and get that the last call, if you will, when it comes to the last call in the dispatch audio, where they say at the end, after they call out for Officer Goodwin's badge number, that they say that they got it from here, that they have her shift from here. So it's really a somber moment right now as they're starting to block down traffic in Uptown as we await for this funeral procession.
What a powerful image behind you, Brandon, to see all those officers there that are gathered to honor Officer Goodwin. Again, if you're just joining us, we are following this procession for Officer Mia Goodwin, just 33 years old. She was a 6-year veteran of the force. She joined in 2015, a mother of 3. She had just returned from maternity leave, and she leaves behind a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 4-month-old. And she died on December 22nd. Also, officers Jackson Buffington, Sean Husk, and Shannon Foster were injured. They were working with her that day. Those officers assisting the North Carolina State Highway Patrol with closing a portion of the Interstate in Northeast Charlotte near West W.T. Harris Boulevard. And around 3:40 a.m., 2 trucks traveling southbound collided, and those vehicles then collided with the CMPD officers. A powerful show here with these officers riding on their motorcycles, heading to the church. They are again leaving Alexander Funeral Home, heading to First Baptist Church. They left at 9 a.m. and we have been following this procession ever since. They're heading to First Baptist Church on South Davidson Street in Uptown. Visitation will be from 10 a.m. to noon. Again, funeral services will begin at noon. We will carry those live on air and online. And as Brandon said, this funeral is and visitation is open, and he said he's seen numerous people gathering to show their respects to Officer Goodwin. All right, let's send it back out to our Brandon Goldner. Brandon, you know, such a hard day for so many. This officer and a mother just returning from maternity leave. I know a lot of people have been on holiday this past week, but you've been covering this since the very beginning as we take a look at the hearse traveling now to the church.
And it's really been kind of this moment of anticipation, real silence besides us, the reporters, talking to you all on through the TV as people are waiting for the hearse of Officer Mia Goodwin. It has been amazing to see all of these people out here, and these are just regular workers in addition to the officers as they're lined up getting ready to have Officer Goodwin come in. One of the things that we are still waiting on is a program for the funeral services so that we can get an idea of who exactly will be covering, coming to this funeral service, who will be speaking on Officer Goodwin's behalf. Typically, what often happens is sometimes it's a family member, often the Chief of Police, Johnny Jennings, will speak at this. Other times it is other officers who work with Officer Goodwin. So it's really going to be a good chance for us to get a good idea of exactly who Officer Goodwin is. Something that was also incredible about the fact that Officer Goodwin, the impact that she had on the community, even among people that she didn't know. A lot of businesses, including local coffee shops, Water Bean Coffee, having record sales because they promised on Christmas Eve to donate all of their coffee sales to the family of Officer Goodwin. And some of the people I spoke to in Huntersville, other places where Officer Goodwin didn't patrol because she was in the university division, a lot of them said that they were just devastated to hear about what happened to her, especially being a mother coming back to work, her husband a Charlotte firefighter, both of them in public service. So you also have a lot of Charlotte firefighters out here, and they really were just touched by her story, and they wanted to do something to help the family. And they just feel that even donating money by grabbing a cup of coffee would just be something. And of course, we also have the GoFundMes that a lot of the nonprofits have done that have raised a lot of money for Officer Goodwin's family. Keep in mind, her husband, a Charlotte firefighter, and 3 young children. And it's devastating to think, especially because these children they're so young that they aren't going to be able to get to really know their mom, but they will be able to see a lot of these images from this funeral service, from all of the pictures that were posted on Facebook by CMPD, and they can really will be all this time forward. Like we said, we hear a lot when it comes to officers and the impact they leave behind. The fact that she is the first female officer to die in the line of duty, it's a sad distinction, but it is something that a lot of people are going to be remembering for some time. And as we're waiting for the procession to arrive here shortly, it's kind of this anticipation, because a lot of times, unfortunately, when it comes to this, police departments want to make it known just how important an officer is when they pass away. You see a lot of those blue lights with the motorcycles, as well as the hearse, as well as police cars from all across the area. A lot of times you have police departments from outside North Carolina. There are some nonprofits that also bring in officers, say from New York Police Department, where 9/11 happened, and they get to be here and offer comfort to some of these officers during this time of grieving, because it is that emphasis on the idea of brothers and sisters in blue, that this is one small family that is together, and they really want to show just how impactful this is. So we're waiting for, and we're hearing the helicopters whirl up, and this kind of sense of anticipation among many people. And just to see, we also have some of the CMPD brass that is here, some of the other departments that I believe is former Chief Kerr Putney, I believe, right over there. We also have, oh, here we go. So we're going to now have the procession. Just check out those blue lights. I'm going to stop talking in a minute just to give you a sense of how that looks. And you already see some of the blue lights coming, many people whipping around just to watch this coming and just see just how bright those blue lights are, and just really the stunning nature of this as we're starting to see the motorcycles first come in, not just from CMPD, but Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office and other agencies. So we're about to start seeing some of those officers come in. I think they're about to let this one car in the garage go down, and they're rushing to get him out there. And now we're going to start seeing some of the rumble of that motorcycle. So I'm going to stop talking 1 second, just let you guys listen to this as Officer Mia Goodwin arrives at First Baptist Church. Motorcycles start arriving. We now have the procession coming in. Notice all the way in the back, besides the police cars, you have the Charlotte fire truck. Remember, Officer Goodwin's husband, the widower now, he is a Charlotte firefighter. So we're going to start getting some more of the procession. Everyone watching, not many people on their phones as they want to see this in person and experience this moment. We're going to stop right here as the hearse arrives at the intersection of 3rd and Davidson. Something to keep an eye on as the hearse pulls up to the entrance of First Baptist Church. The choreography that is involved as they bring the casket out, something that is often practiced a lot of times when it comes to this important part of this funeral procession. Something to keep in mind as we're already seeing several police cars coming through here. This is only the beginning. There's a whole stretch of additional police cars that are coming through here as they're turning onto South Davidson. Our Mike Hansen is going to lift up to give you a better look as we're starting to see more of these police cars coming in and lining up. We also have CMPD's helicopter above us right now, the American flag from one of the Charlotte fire trucks hanging over. And now we do have Officer Goodwin's arriving here at the First Baptist Church. And as the hearse arrives, you also have a line of her brothers and sisters in blue, many of them officers. You also have detectives. You also have dispatchers arriving as they begin this intricate choreography to bring the casket out from the hearse and into First Baptist Church for the visitation, followed by the actual funeral service itself. So it looks like they are going to be starting to begin this process, get this process underway. It's a somber moment, so once that process starts, we'll stay silent just so you can experience this moment as more and more police cars come through here. You have a lot of different agencies here with the motorcycles, just the motorcycles themselves. You had CMPD, obviously, Metcalfe County Sheriff's Office. You also had Gastonia Police, Matthews Police, all these different agencies coming together because even though they are different agencies, they are among one group of brothers and sisters in blue. Like we're starting to have some of the officers coming through here, so we're gonna stay silent just for a moment as they bring out the casket in this intricate process. Second, they are still lining up right now. Just keep in mind just how many officers there are here and just how intricate a choreography this is as they're beginning really this process that they hate to go through, but it's just something that unfortunately, as many officers say, is part of their job, is necessary in order to protect the community. And apologies to our viewers at home. We know this isn't necessarily the best angle, but we do want to show respect by not being too close to this process and giving the officers space. And now they have opened the back of the hearse. And we now have the family of Officer Goodwin walking into the church. the family walks in, the officers have put down their salutes and they will get ready to start filing in for the visitation, which will last from 10 a.m. to noon, followed by the funeral service itself. And this is open to the public and people are welcome to attend. Something I hope you all noticed as we were getting ready for the opening of the hearse was how all the officers all at once did their salute to Officer Mia Goodwin, a sign of respect for her service. And something else that's also noteworthy is the number of firefighters, again, that are also here because her widower, her husband, is a Charlotte firefighter. We have several officers from all different agencies all across the area. We saw Locust Police, we had Highway Patrol that is stepping up here. We also have Huntersville Police, Asheville Police has come down, and as you see in the foreground is that there are still more police cars coming through here. This has not stopped during this entire time that we've been on air, is that there is still a line of police cars still filing through here. Again, it's just really showing the respect that many people have for Officer Mia Goodwin. And we also have several people, again, from the Charlotte Government Center, people that are coming down here to watch this as this unfolds right near their offices. Many people putting down their phones, just absorbing and being in the moment as they watch this happen. We also have we have Gaston County Sheriff's Office that's just pulling up. We have all these different agencies that are coming together to show their support. So for the time being, we'll send that back over to you all in the studio as we see more and more police cars coming through here to First Baptist Church.
Yeah, our reporter Brandon Goldner out there for us. Brandon, thank you so much for walking us through that procession. We know you have a clearer vantage point than we do to see exactly what's going on as they carried in the casket of Officer Mia Goodwin, 33 years old, a 6-year veteran of the force, as her family followed behind. Again, that visitation taking place at First Baptist Church from 10 until noon, and then we will have the funeral services live on our air during our midday newscast. Stick with us on air and online, and we'll have the very latest for you right here on WCNC.com.